Hi guys, and welcome to Show Geek. Recently, Amazon just dropped off another 20 names of cast members that will be joining their Lord of the Rings series. The cast is multinational and absolutely heaving with talent, but that doesn't tell us all that much about the series itself. From what we do know, however, it's going to be one hell of a cinematic experience despite never hitting the cinema. So, what do we know so far? And how can we be sure it's not going to be just another fantasy show? Well, let's take a look. It's set before Fellowship of the Ring. So far, very little is known about the show's plot, other than what the Lord of the Rings Prime Twitter account shared in March 2019. These two tweets contained a series of interactive maps of Middle-earth and the iconic text, "One ring to rule them all, one ring to find them, one ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them, in the land of Mordor, where the shadows lie," followed by "Welcome to the Second Age." This confirms that the show will be set before the Fellowship of the Ring movie, which means we're going to dive deep into Tolkien's mythology. No details have been released surrounding which storylines they'll follow, but the Second Age was a 3,441-year period in which the Rings of Power were forged and ended with the downfall of Sauron. This means that we're in for one hell of an epic origin story in 2021. Amazon greenlit 2 seasons immediately. Whether this is a sign of Amazon's confidence in their writers or doubling down on an enormous investment, the Lord of the Rings show has already been guaranteed at least 18 episodes. There's no release date yet, but IMDb suggests that the first season will have 9 episodes, and they'll probably be around an hour each. This means that showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay will have plenty of room to really stretch their legs in Tolkien's world. They and the writers will be working closely with the Tolkien estate to make sure that none of the chronology and general history Tolkien created is changed. But they have plenty of stories to draw upon. As long as they don't change anything Tolkien wrote, they can fill in the gaps he left with their own creativity, and there's plenty of that to go around on this show. Is an Emmy Award-winning writer and producer who is known as the unofficial keeper of the mythos on Game of Thrones. This is because he wrote the show Bible, which is the book that the cast and crew refer to, so that they don't do anything that isn't canonical. Cogman wrote a number of episodes of Game of Thrones and was even story editor for seasons 1, 2, and 3. This means that he was at the helm during arguably the best part of Game of Thrones, so he's got first-hand knowledge of where the show went wrong, and maybe, just maybe, he can make sure that Lord of the Rings avoids that kind of ending. J.a. Bayona will direct multiple episodes. Bayona is a multi-award-winning director from Spain, famous for his work on The Orphanage and Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Apparently, Bayona has been given plenty of space to bring his dark visions to life in the Amazon series. And from a recent tweet from Rotten Tomatoes, it looks like he's bringing in plenty of people he trusts to do just that. A $1 billion budget. Normally, this kind of title turns out to be nothing but hyperbole, but not in this case. One of the earliest rumors to come true about the show was that Amazon was putting up $1 billion to get it made right. To put that into perspective, the original trilogy of movies only had a budget of $281 million combined. Again, we don't know all that much about how Amazon will be spending their billion, but one thing we do know is that they're giving costume design the same priority the original trilogy was praised for. We know that because they're bringing in costume design wizard Kate Hawley. Hawley is most famous for her work with Guillermo del Toro, a director who will not compromise when it comes to costume and creature design. So get ready for some absolutely gorgeous imagery next year. What are your thoughts on Amazon's Lord of the Rings? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Show Geek for more stories from TV, movies, and all your other favorite nerdy content.